Hey, everybody. Welcome to our inaugural episode of Girl Same. How about that name that we came up with like that in 2 seconds?
I say it often. I was going through my text messages. I was like, let me just word search girl same. I say it way too much. So I was like, you know what? This is actually the perfect
A
title
good
for the
name.
show.
So,
Yeah.
you guys, we had a bit of a pilot episode, I guess, a couple weeks ago where we said, we are so tired. That's not that we're tired, but we talk about politics 24/7. And we decided we're going to maybe talk about other stuff once in a while. And then we decided maybe once a week we can maybe take an hour out of our lives and not talk politics and just talk about stuff,
Yeah.
like stuff that's going on. Like, for example, I was telling Michelle that I have to take my dog to the vet tomorrow. And I was saying to her that secretly my dog is kind of my favorite member of the family.
Well,
I can say that because my son is not here tonight and my husband my husband just took the dog out for a walk. So while I'm here in the house alone for about 30 seconds before he comes back, I can just say that I love my dog so much. His name is Hagrid. He's the best. He's a rescue dog. Did I tell you about the story of how we got this dog? I don't know.
no, I would love to know.
So my son was begging us for a dog for years, like begging, begging, begging. And my husband had just lost a dog he had for a very long time, well before I ever came into the picture. And he was very upset. And he said, I can't go through that again. And I can't get another dog. And I was kind of leaning towards getting another dog, but I obviously was not going to do that without my husband's okay.
Right.
You know, it's like much like having a baby. You don't trick somebody into bringing a dog into the house.
Right.
You can buy it from everybody.
Right.
And my son, I have it, actually, I'm looking at it right here, had this petition that he got all his little fourth grade buddies to sign. It's begging for a dog. It was literally a petition. He petitioned us to get a dog, including his fourth grade teacher who signed his name and then parentheses said sorry. And my husband said, okay, I will agree to get a dog, but I have certain parameters. And the parameters are that it has to be a boy, which I was like, no problem. I love being the only girl in the family.
Yeah.
It has to be a lab and it has to be a rescue. And my husband just came back with the dog, so therefore I can kind of have to tell the story surreptitiously. And I said, okay, cool. So I go on Lab Rescue, like some website, and there's this Lab Rescue I come up with in New Jersey. And I was like, great. I go on their website and the cutest little dog, like a little puppy. He's so adorable, this little black lab. And he was just, fell in love with him. And his name was Hagrid. They'd named him. It was the names are all from Harry Potter. So there was a litter. It was Harry, Hermione, Hagrid.
And you kept the name.
We kept the name. And Heather. I don't know what Heather was, but anyway.
I don't know.
So I call the lady and I'm like, I need Hagrid. Like, Hagrid's my dog. I am getting this dog. You have to save him for me. And he was coming up from Mississippi. And she said, okay, no problem. They made us go through, like, I think adopting a kid is less background checks than like rescue. This was like 20 different background checks and recommendations from previous vets to make sure that we weren't going to abuse him and yada, yada.
Right.
So we go and we get little Hagrid. And he's the cutest and he's the best. And he's this little teeny tiny little black lab. And we come back to the city and we put him in the car. He immediately throws up all over my son.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He still hates the car. So I bring him back to the city and I take him for his first vet appointment. And the vet goes, do you want to get a DNA test? And I was like, sure, okay.
I love that there's ancestry.com now for dogs.
Ridiculous. Of course, because I'm an idiot. I would never spend money to get ancestry.com for myself because that's always
listen. Right. Well, I mean, listen, this is just another prime example of the things that we will do for our animals because, you know, they can't do it for themselves. So we have to get it for them.
I'll tell you why I don't want to get ancestry.com. I'm afraid to find out stuff like, like I don't want to know what I don't want to know. I don't know.
I never considered that, but that's a fair concern.
I have a member of my family who discovered something. Yeah. That the dad that he thought was his dad was not his dad. I know.
Drama. Well, okay. Well, I guess
So anyway, my
the
dad,
less you know.
my dad is definitely my dad, because if you look at me and my dad, or me and my mom for that matter, I'm like a spitting image of both of them combined. But that's not the point. So I get Ancestry.com and I get a DNA test for this dog, and it comes back and he's like 20 different breeds. Like his mom got around 20 different breeds except lab. He's everything but a lab.
It's crazy because he looks. I wish you know what? Do I have a photo of your dog? I don't think I do. I was gonna say send me.
While we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh God, there goes my horrible mic again, but you have to come.
Yeah,
over.
I need to come over to your apartment and help you.
I know you do. I used to come over to my apartment and Marie Kondo the shit out of my apartment.
I will do that.
So anyway, so the point is, so this dog, I have spent more money on this dog than I have ever in my life spent on my own healthcare, my child's healthcare, or anybody else's healthcare combined. And I have to take him to the vet tomorrow, and it's going to be another. I have insurance for him. It doesn't matter. It's going to be like another $1,000. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. I have a friend actually. She rescued a dog from Puerto Rico, I think it was, during one of the hurricanes or something. She and her boyfriend, now husband, adopted this dog, named her Karen. Amazing. And Karen, like Karen. Her name is Karen, and she's like a little like mix. I don't know what she is, but she's like part Chihuahua, part pit bull or something. Like she's adorable. But she ate like cat poop or something in Central Park. And I guess dogs aren't supposed to do that. And it was giving her seizures and like all kinds of other problems. So she has like all these health problems now. But that initial vet bill, had it not been for their pet insurance, would have been $25,000.
Okay, so I had a dog named Grimace. Grimace was this little Chihuahua that I had who was like this big. And Grimace was really squirmy. When I first got him, he jumped out of my arms and he broke his little elbow. And they did surgery on him, but the pin was too big for him, so it never healed. So Grimace was like a hop-along. He had like 3.5 legs that worked.
Yeah.
And I didn't have insurance. I must have spent, it must have been at least $25,000 in Grimace. Like,
oh my gosh, wow.
But Grimace like was my baby. Like Grimace, when I was single before I had a son.
See, this is the thing. Yeah, I don't know why your mic is doing that. I need to come over and help you.
You do. I need help. I need help.
Yeah.
I need help with a lot of things. But yeah. But I have stats. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. No. I was going to ask, how old is Hagrid now?
So Hagrid is going to be 4 in October. Yeah.
Okay. So a sprightly young dog.
Yes, and Hagrid has issues. Like Hagrid hates the car. Like nobody hates the car. He hates the car, and I had to drive today, from Pennsylvania, where we spent.
Is there like doggy Dramamine for him or something?
You know what? It's funny that you say this. There is a drug that they give to people who basically in insane asylums that they need to, like, when they really need to calm them down. It's like way beyond Xanax. And I have to give that to Hagrid to take him to the vet because he has to get his anal glands expressed, which is gross.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that's a thing. Yeah.
He hates to do that so much. He will not.
I would too.
Yeah. Like he needs to see somebody. Yeah, exactly. Casual observer, CBD for dogs. Like he needs pot.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously needs some sort of like doggy pot. But they give him it is trazodone. Thank you.
Is that it? Okay.
Trazodone, but like really high levels of trazodone to basically be able to go to the doctor, which is pretty sad.
Heidi, Julia, sweep for bugs. You might need to.
I don't know. What is that? It's every time with my mic.
I know there's like a feedback. I think it has something to do with your monitor. Like, do you have these in your ears? Yeah. I don't know. Something maybe your mic is turned, like the volume or something is turned up too high and you're not loud enough. There's something there. I used to be the president of the AV club when I was in high school, so I'll happily come over to your house and help you out. But yeah,
wait. You don't just throw that out there, Michelle, and just move on. Though you might want to move on. I need to. How does one
It's a
become?
fact.
How
It's a
does one?
fact.
How does one become the president of the AV club?
Well, to become the president of the AV club, um, first of all, you have to hang out in the AV room. And there is
Okay.
the AV room, and that is where, back in the day, you'd wheel in the TV and the VCR into
Yeah.
someone's classroom, and like that's where they would come from. And we did the morning announcements and like things like that. So you just, you get to know the people in the AV club room, and then, eventually
How does one find themselves in the AV room?
I
Like,
like you just I don't know. Actually, I don't really know how I found myself in there. I think it was just I might have been interested in doing morning announcements or something like that, and the guy who ran, like the teacher, the person, the adult who ran the AV club and ran the AV room, did all the sound for the musicals and things like that too. So, which I was in.
wait,
So,
you were in the AV club and you were on stage, like you did
um,
both?
yeah, I mean, I wasn't running sound during my shows or anything like that, but
Huh.
otherwise I would help at the soundboard if there was other things going on. I would sit in my free periods. I would go to the AV club, and I did the morning announcements, which was on TV. It was like WWHS TV, something, something. I forget. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, this was in like the late 90s. So, it wasn't very high tech or anything like that. But AV
Yeah,
club.
you drama kids, like there's a whole separate drama
Mhm.
kid situation going on that I was not
Yeah.
familiar with.
Josh Groban, I'll have to play this on one of our shows. Josh Groban he has a really great quote about theater kids and how if you want something done, ask a theater kid. Like if you want something built, you ask a theater kid. If you want something organized, you ask a theater kid, because if that theater kid has no idea how to do it, they will Google it and they'll be doing it the next day like they've been doing it for 15 years. And that is the absolute truth. Because honestly, how hard can it be? That's always my feeling about everything. How hard can it be?
So I feel like I had a totally different high school experience.
Mm.
Like I was not into the drama club. Actually, that's not true. In sixth grade, I used to have a really good voice, and
Mhm.
I actually had perfect pitch when I was little.
Really?
And yes, and in fifth or sixth grade, I forgot what year it was, I auditioned to be Annie in the school play. And let me stress that I was a latchkey kid living in the Bronx at the time. And all I did every single day of the summer was put on the Annie soundtrack from the
Mm.
Quinn Annie movie
Oh,
and
I was gonna ask if it's the movie or
the
the
movie.
original. Yeah,
No, not the original.
Andrew. Yeah,
And
Andrew
all I
McPardle.
did was sing that album over and over and over and over and over again.
Hmm.
And there was an audition to be Annie. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. This is going to be my big, like, I'm going to be discovered and I'm going to
Hmm.
be Broadway and I'm going to, like, this was my ticket out of the Bronx. And I didn't get it, but
Oh,
it was even
do you
worse.
remember? Do you
Arch,
remember who did?
arch nemesis Mara Taylor got it, but here's
Mara.
Mara Taylor. But here's the
Where is
part that
Mara today? Do we know where she is today?
I looked it up. Mara is a lawyer somewhere in New York. I have not been in touch with Mara Taylor in 40 years. But here's the part that I think is fascinating. They didn't let me play Annie, but they made me sing Annie. So
What do you
she
mean?
got to play it,
What?
and I had to come in for all the songs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
How
Wait a
wrong is
second.
that?
Wait.
I know.
So wait, so
I know.
was she like mouthing you singing or
No,
what?
no. Like the acting part, she would
Yeah.
act. And then whenever like the song would come on, I'd have to come on and sing the song. And they thought they were doing me a favor. And I'm like, I feel a little used here. I know. My mic
That
feels a
is
little
very
used
it's very like Singing in the Rain when they have, you know, Lana Lamont or
I
whatever.
felt like I was like Marnie Nixon.
Marnie Nixon.
I was like
Yes,
Marnie
Marnie
Nixon in My Fair
Nixon.
Lady. It was
Yes,
so
if you guys don't know, who Marnie Nixon is, she is the voice behind Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady,
good.
and also for Natalie Wood in West Side Story film. I actually did a masterclass with her when I was in college, and she is fantastic.
She's still alive?
I don't know that she is anymore, but this was, 26 years
know.
ago.
I know.
But But yeah, I mean, she got, it's funny because, she didn't get any of the glory from either of those roles that were so legendary for Audrey Hepburn. But then Audrey Hepburn also got, there was all this drama because they didn't cast Julie Andrews, but then Julie Andrews did Mary Poppins the same year, and then she got all the
Yeah, I don't feel bad
but,
for Julie Andrews. She's had a great career. But yes,
yeah.
so Mara Taylor would get to act, and I had to come out and sing, and it was very unfair.
I don't like Mara.
Yes,
I don't like her.
It was incredibly devastating to me. I remember when they literally when they handed out when the secretary of whoever who's handing out like the parts came out and she gave it to Mara Taylor first. And by the way, if Mara Taylor is watching this by some miracle, I don't begrudge you, Mara Taylor. I'm very happy for you. It's been quite traumatic for the last 40 years, as you can imagine. But I don't begrudge you. You are not you are not the person who wronged me here. I was a ghost singer, casual observer. You're right. So anyway, so the point is, by the time I got to high school, I was like, enough of this bullshit. I felt used and abused, and I was like,
yeah.
No. And then I started, smoking cigarettes and doing things that were not. I know.
No, Julie.
I know. My son better never hear about this, but yes. I mean, that was a long time ago. It does not happen anymore. But so I didn't do drama, and I didn't do anything.
Really? That is so.
I was, you know what I did? Oh my God, this is like the truth is coming out, and I don't know what's going on. I got no sleep last night, so the truth potion's coming out. So I went to high school in Princeton, New Jersey, which is not the same as going to Princeton University because everybody's like, "Oh, you went to Princeton?" I'm like, "No, I did not go to Princeton."
Just really quick, do you want to bring the mic closer to you? Because I feel like that might be part of it.
Maybe I don't know. Well, let's see. Okay,
let's find out together. Yeah.
Maybe. So I Luck Dragon cigarettes, and we don't talk about that if my son ever comes along. Yeah. I went through a little Marlboro Light stage. So I had an internship the summer between my junior and senior year, and I ended up working. Nope, that didn't help either. I ended up working. I think it's my ear things because they keep falling out, and whenever that happens, this thing comes out. Anyway,
you want to unplug them? Are they plugged into your mic or into your computer?
They're plugged into my mic. Maybe that's.
Oh no! Plug it into your computer.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna do this all together. And Claudia, I'm with you. Lena Lamont and Kathy Selden. If you guys know the movie Singing in the Rain, that's what happens because they go from the silent pictures to the talkies. And Lena Lamont she talks like this, and I can't stand them. And it's who wants to listen to that? So they bring in this lovely young woman, Kathy Selden, to sing and speak all of her lines. And, so I won't spoil the ending if you haven't seen it.
I've never seen Singing in the Rain.
What?
I know.
Girl.
I know.
This is when we're all going to go to Julie's house in Pennsylvania and have movie weekend, and we're going to watch
Singing in the Rain.
All the thing. We're going to watch Singing in the Rain because Tara loves that movie too.
I did know that. Yeah. So anyway, so the summer between my junior and senior year, I did this internship, and I met this boy from Princeton University who was going to his sophomore year, and I ended up dating him as a senior in high school.
Wow.
So let me tell you this. I've never been that cool since. It has never. It's all been downhill.
I don't know, Julie.
No.
I mean, not to change the subject here, but guys, last night, my husband and I don't even know how we got on. We went down this thing.
That was
went down
this. Did you get on this?
I don't know. I think I went to see like something that you done on CNN. I don't even remember. But my husband and I went down the rabbit hole last night and found all of Julie's old stuff from when she was on Fox News. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, you don't know who we are. I am Michelle Kinney. This is Julie Roginski, former Fox News commentator. Okay.
This token Dem.
The token Democrat/liberal at Fox News for 10 years. And so in this rabbit hole that I went down, were so many things. I mean, like, I mean, sitting.
BKG, you remember the clapback? We love the clapback.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes. She did the clapback, which was like just on the
clapback.
digital show, right?
Yes,
Yeah, on
yes,
Fox
yes.
Nation or something. And the great thing about this is, like, I saw her at the table. I forget who you were with. You were with Anthony Scaramucci and Megyn Kelly. And then there was one thing that I saw, and it was you and Megyn Kelly like bashing Trump. I mean, which was just like a crazy thing to witness. But there's so much, guys. There's so much. And you should see some of these things that Julie was doing. She's sitting at the big couch, and all the women have these high heels on that are like this big, and one guy sitting in the middle. And guess who that guy is? His name is Pete Hegseth.
Pete was a regular, but you know the thing about that show, they would bring in. So the whole premise of that show was a show called Outnumbered on Fox. I'm not going to belabor the Fox years, other than to say it was a show where it was 4 women, of whom I was one, and every day there'd be a rotating guy, and the guy would be called One Lucky Guy. Think about how like sexist that is, right? So he'd be called One Lucky Guy, and he would rotate, but they would try to bring in, like, a lot of the times they would just pick whichever. They would just be like, all right, Pete, like, you work at Fox, like, you come in today, because you know it's hard to program a different guy every day. But they would try to get these celebrity guys to come in, but it's like MAGA celebrities, right? So they would get, like, Dean Cain would be on all the time.
And, oh yeah, I saw one of the things with you,
and he's actually very nice. I mean, we don't agree on anything, but he was nice. And then Antonio Sabato Jr. was on, which all the time. Which, P.S. ladies, if you were anywhere of a particular age, like, say 50 or over.
Yeah, I feel like that was of my sister's time.
And you watched General Hospital in the late 80s, early 90s. or / The Love Will Never Do Without You, Janet Jackson video.
Oh, right.
Antonio Sabato Jr. was your guy. And let me tell you something. He is very good looking.
And a Republican.
There is not much upstairs. But it doesn't matter, because for an hour, we would sit there and talk politics, and he would chime in, and I would be like, okay. And very nice guy. But then they started bringing in Scott Baio. And Scott Baio was the biggest dick who ever, like, I cannot tell you, I don't, except for Dan Bongino, I don't actually think there was a Bingo Bongo. I don't actually think there was a nastier guy at all of, like, I dealt with in all of television.
I'm actually not terribly surprised by that, sadly.
Well, he was such a jerk that I basically was like, I decided to start screwing with him. So we're sitting in the green room, and he's just being completely unbearable. And I was like, hey, Scott, you know, ever since I found out that you're going to be on today, I just had the Charles in Charge theme song stuck in my head for hours.
Joni and I was like,
really, and he was like, that fuck, like, he would get really pissed off about that. And I was like, Crazy Train get pissed off about Charles in Charge. I was like, what's wrong with Charles in Charge? I was like, I love Charles in Charge. And he would just get so pissed off, because I was like, well, what do you like? You're either Charles in Charge or Chachi. Like, dude, like, you're not right. You're not like Laurence Olivier here. Like, I'm sorry, we're like trying to.
He thinks he is, though. That's the problem. He thinks he is.
And I then was like, somehow started to talk to him about Joni Loves Chachi. Yes, I never watched.
I didn't either.
But
Scott Baio is the Timu Antonio Sabato.
in every way. In every way. But here's the best part. Erin Moran / Joni had died like a few years prior. He started trashing her. Like, he was like, she sucks. She's a fucking bitch. Like, I was like, oh my God, she's dead. Like, she's Joni. You're Chachi. Like, what's wrong with you? He was so nasty to everybody.
Wow.
He was awful. He had this wife who was nasty. Like, I don't know why my earpiece keeps falling out. Anyway, the whole thing was completely unbearable. And anyway, just absolutely awful, awful, awful. But yeah, Chachi was on a lot. And Chachi's problem was, unlike Antonio Sabato Jr. and Dean Cain, Chachi didn't know what he didn't know. And
well, Chachi
knew stuff.
Well, and you know, not to do a subject change, but speaking of Dean Cain, and I did want to talk about this just for a few minutes. So Dean Cain played Superman
Yes.
on TV, and Terry Hatcher, is that her
Terry
name?
Hatcher, who then was on Desperate Housewives. And
Was right.
most relevantly
She
was
played Lois Lane on
no,
the
but she was
TV.
also was a Chandra on Seinfeld. Remember They're Real and They're Spectacular?
Oh, yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes. Early on, early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she played Lois Lane and Dean Cain was Superman. So of course Dean Cain has become, he's like the D-list MAGA guy. All of MAGA, if they can get an actor to come to their side, they're very, very excited. But that being said, he said that he didn't like the new Superman movie because it was too woke. Now, let me just tell you, I went to go see the Superman movie this afternoon. I went by myself. I went to the IMAX theater on 68th and Broadway in New York City. And I didn't realize this until yesterday, that it is the largest IMAX theater in the Western Hemisphere.
I've never seen, so I live right by that theater, and I've never seen an IMAX movie in that theater.
I haven't either. And that's
Okay.
my theater. That's where I go to. And I'm like, how did I not know about this? It's like, when you go up those escalators to like the main area to see a movie, you can keep going. And there's I think it's like 2 more levels, and there's a whole nother floor that's just the IMAX theater. It is humongous. It is so, so, so big. And it's like a 96-foot tall screen. So almost 100 feet. I mean, it's just bonkers. But anyways, so I'm there. I'm watching the film. It is, listen, guys, I like DC over Marvel, so I'm already a little biased to DC Comics, but I loved it. I thought it was so, so, so good. I was very moved by it, and I'll tell you why without giving away any like plot specific information. But I'll say that it is very representative of what's going on in the country right now, and how Superman / Clark Kent comes to America as an immigrant, as an alien, and they don't treat him like a human being. And there is his arch rival, Lex Luthor, who is a tech billionaire who's trying to destroy the world and is trying to take over a country so that he can be king. There's a country that looks and sounds very much like Russia that invades another country, and I was waiting for Superman to come and save them. And Superman is very representative of the United States and America. I would say even more so the American people. And I think that it was so nice to see a story where something is representative of America and American values, and I would even say just the dream of what we want America to be, and see the nice guys win and see the bad guys not win. And to see women being treated in this story also as like not damsels in distress. It was a story that was anti-fascist. It was anti-fascist and anti-billionaire tech bro. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, you said that. You texted us, Tara, me, and Joe, and you said you were totally like,
it was just great.
Incredible.
Yeah. It was very cathartic. It was extremely cathartic, because it's not often that you get, we open our phones every 5 seconds and it's like bad news. I mean, even just today, it's like, oh, the Department of Education, this. I mean, it's just, it never ends. So it was really nice to sit in the theater for, I don't know how long it was, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and feel good,
Right.
So awesome. I wanted to say that, and I don't think that if you can open your mind, if you're not somebody who likes Superman movies or Batman movies, and people are like, oh, it's not really my thing. Just if you can go in and keep an open mind that you're living in that world and that reality, and enjoy the story. It's no wonder that MAGA is so triggered by it, because I think in a lot of ways it forces them to kind of look in the mirror a little bit and see what they're all about. And what they're all about is really ugly. So, and I did want to just show this article really quick. And I know we didn't want to talk about politics too much tonight, but I think the culture war thing here is important. And this guy, Anthony Brez, I can't pronounce his last name. Can Superman win the culture war? Why the backlash actually backfired? And I agree because, of course, it's like the Barbie movies, just like the first thing that MAGA and Fox and all them want to do is complain. And it says the Man of Steel has faced political attacks before, going back 85 years. Superman poisoning American children, irate Nazis claim. So I just want to show some of this stuff here. They talk about, well, they talk about all the people that are on Fox and whatnot that are complaining. Jesse Waters saying, whatever else. But I think this is really interesting. When Superman first came out, this is at the time Superman had existed for only 2 years. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, which would draw the U.S. fully into World War II, was still a year and a half away. And if you go and read this article, they talk more about that Adolf Hitler and the Germans and the Nazis did not like Superman, and they did not like what Superman represented. And a lot of those complaints are pretty identical to what the people on Fox News are complaining about. So, history repeats itself once again.
Don't forget who invented Superman. It was
two Jewish guys.
Two Jewish guys who were like, their parents were Lithuanian refugees, basically from the Russian Empire. So
right.
Let's be very clear. Like, Superman has long been, and DC has long been, part of that world. I mean, these are all refugee guys. I mean, all of them were invented. By not just Superman, but all of them were invented by these Jewish guys. So yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. And I think, I think it was almost and I don't know much about this particular movie. I haven't seen it, but I do know a little bit of the history of the creation of these characters. It was really a love note by immigrants to this country and what it stood for.
Yeah.
Like truth, justice, and the American way the guy was not American, right? He's from Krypton.
Right.
But yet they wanted to work in their appreciation for this country and what it stood for. Right. So they kept calling it truth, justice, and the American way, as opposed to, truth, justice, and,
right.
the Krypton way or whatever it could have been.
Right, exactly. And all he wants to do is belong here, and he wants to do good, and he wants to make the world a better place. And there also, there's another element of kindness toward animals that exist in this storyline too. I'd like to bring us back to the animal part. I mean, there were so many aspects of this where you saw Superman kind of make a conscious decision to do the kindest thing possible towards an animal or to try to save an animal. And of course, I'm thinking about my own animals, and my older cat right now is not having a very good time. He just turned 14. He has IBD, which I didn't even know cats could get.
What's IBD?
It's irritable bowel disease, not syndrome disease. Yeah. So think of like ulcerative colitis or something like that in a human being, or Crohn's disease or something like that. So we've done, a million bajillion dollars later from the vet and all the prescription cat food and everything. He's lost weight, and he was kind of a big chunky cat. I've had him for many years before I was even with my husband. It was just he and I for, my cat and me for 2 years. And so, it's very difficult to watch your animal be in pain and be sick, and they can't tell you what's wrong. And, you just want to help them. And like last night, he threw up all his food all over the floor. And, my husband and I just sat there and we're just like, upset. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And, otherwise he seems okay. But again, it's just like, I would do anything for that, that little asshole cat.
They really are our children. And I don't care if you have children or not.
Right.
I had a dog before I had a son, and I've had a dog since I've had a son. And I have to tell you, it doesn't matter. They're members of the family. Like, you just love them the way you love them. And I agree. And it's actually interesting because I pulled some stats.
Yeah, please do. Share.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Actually, I didn't realize this until we decided to talk about this. But according to a Harris poll from last year, Gen Z pet owners spend an average of $6,103 annually on their pets, compared to $5,150 for millennials.
Wait a second. What was that number again? 6,000 what?
103. I've spent way much more than that, and my dog's not even sick. And I've spent.
But on average, especially, I think about like younger animals and stuff too.
It evens out. And it's crazy because boomers spend $134 a month. Gen Z spends $216 a month.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy.
That is bananas. Well, it's funny even like to today. So my cat having all the health issues right now. I'm just trying to make everything as easy for him as possible. So I went on Amazon, which I try not to do, but didn't have a lot of options out of to get in a 24-hour period. Excuse me. Like those little food and water bowls that are like up, so he doesn't have to bend over as far. I was looking for a new cat bed when we travel with him so he has more room, and like getting him a little water fountain so he can drink water. I'm sure my parents are watching this right now and like just rolling their eyes, but it's true. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have kids. I mean, even if I did, I think I'd still be doing all of this. But it's like you said, they're part of your family. And if you like really think about it, our pets, and like sometimes it makes me cry to even think about it, like we are their whole world. Think about it. They wake up in the morning, they go to bed, all they do is think about us and want to be near us all day long. And they look at us and they wait for us. And, I grew up with dogs. I never had a cat until I was, almost 30 years old, and grew up with dogs. Both of those dogs obviously, passed away. One of them was he passed away very young. It was very, very sad. I don't think my parents ever got over it too. Because, you just, it's like losing a member of your family,
My parents never got over it. My parents had a dog named Peanut. My father loved Peanut so much that my father said he wanted to be buried with Peanut. Like, he literally wanted to like be buried together, and we're like, can't do that, Dad. But my father
good.
Well, not legally, but my father would go to stores, like to supermarkets, and they're like, "Sir, you can't bring your dog in here." And he's like, "You don't want my business? You don't want my dog? You don't want my business?" Like, he was upset. Like, this dog was everything to my dad. And they've never gotten over it. Because I keep saying to them, like, why don't you get another dog? You probably need another dog. It's just like something, as they get older, it just keeps them on a schedule. And my mother was like, I cannot bear another dog dying.
Yeah,
like, I barely survived this. Like, can't
devastating. And Tara, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, Tara Setmeyer, who's my fellow co-founder at the Seneca Project, is one of my dearest friends, and she lost her cat of 18 years last summer in a very inopportune time. The DNC was happening. We had just launched Seneca Project. She was like, I don't have time to be doing this right now. I can't be sad. And, it's just, like how life likes to, arrive and show up whenever it wants. But, it's very, very sad. But, in the meantime, we just try to do what we can to make them happy. And we spend all the money. I mean, I don't know if do you send your dog to doggy daycare?
So my dog is such a little terrorist. He's very, very sweet, but he's crazy hyper around other dogs. So first of all, when I first got him, I was like, I should send him to puppy kindergarten and get him acclimated. He got expelled. Literally, they said to me, you need to like not bring him back, because he was a horrible influence on all the other dogs. The other dogs were all sitting around like kind of in their little circle watching the trainer, and my dog was going crazy trying to steal all of their little treats. So he failed out of puppy kindergarten. Then I put him in doggy daycare. And after a while, they're like, you might want to think about other alternatives, because he was so hyper that he was like hyping up all the other dogs.
Oh no.
Yeah, because he was a puppy. He's such a good boy. But he's such a good dog. He's so smart. I don't really need to put him in puppy kindergarten because, well, first of all, since COVID, I've been working out of the house. But
right.
even when I had an office, I had an office last year. We shut it down. But he, he'll hold it. He's just good. And there's in our building, for whatever reason, has a woman who is like the dog walker for the building.
Oh, that's nice. That's very convenient.
It's great. So if I'm really in a pinch, I'll just text her and she'll walk him for me. And she's great. And he loves her. I mean, like, she's his favorite person on earth.
That's the cool thing about New York. I mean, for anybody who is watching or in the chat, New York, man, you see the dog walkers. And it's amazing what they do. They've got like 10 dogs on, there's like 10 leashes and 10 dogs. And then
$25 a walk.
Yeah. And they take them to the park. They play with each other. But it's one of my favorite things to see is a dog walker walking with like 10 dogs, and they're all different breeds, all different sizes. You've got some big, sheep dog and a tiny little, French bulldog, like all walking together as happy as can be. And it is just honestly the happiest thing in the whole world. I love it. I just love it. I wish. Sorry, go ahead.
Aaliyah, I promise you on all that is holy, no conversation of Michelle's and mine will ever take a Christy Nome turn. Ever.
Oh my God.
Ever.
No. I missed that comment.
Because I will tell you that, like, I cannot think of a more disqualifying characteristic than that.
Listen, this is why, look at Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump is the first president in the White House in how many years to not have a pet at all.
Yeah.
And I remember him being very critical of Mike Pence, because Mike Pence, for however any of us feel about his politics, loves animals. And he's got a shit ton of pets. He had remember it was like the bunny, because then they made some bunny book. There was like a children's book or something. And then he had like a bird and like a cat and this, and he thought, Donald Trump said that he thought it was low class to have pets. He thought it was low class. I'm like, this is, around the same time, I remember the Obamas too, when they left the White House, they had the dogs, but then they offered the Trumps to leave the play set in the back, like the little playground, because Barron was young still at the time. And he said, no, get rid of it. He didn't want anything, nothing that sparks joy, nothing. And it's really, it's a huge indicator of what kind of person you are. Not to, to quote Ace Ventura, but maybe animals can sense evil. You know what I mean?
My husband and I always have this discussion, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody by saying this, but we've always been like, what would have happened if we met each other, we love each other, everything is perfect, but one of us was not an animal person, and both of us were like, you know what? I don't think we would feel about each other the same way. It's just, there's something missing if you're not an animal person. And I'm sorry, I know there are plenty of people, you may be allergic to animals. They just might not be your cup of tea, but I'm definitely allergic to cats. I can't even go to, I can't go to
really?
terrace.
That's you can't ever come to my party.
I could probably Claritin myself out, but it won't be pleasant. But really, really, really allergic to cats. But I love them. They're fantastic. I just can't be around them.
Well, it's funny. My husband developed a cat allergy several years into us having the cats. Both are all of a sudden he's just sneezing all the time, sneezing. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I think it's the cats. I'm like, no, it's not the cats. And one morning he woke up and he really was having trouble breathing. And he went to an allergist, and he's like, they're testing me for everything. Nothing. And he's like, I started to get concerned. He's like, and then cat. And it's his arm flew up.
What did you do?
He does the shots. The shots. Okay. And there's a fast track. It's immunotherapy kind of allergy thing. And he did a fast version of that over a few weeks. And now I think he goes once a month and gets a shot, and it's much better. He still, has sneezing fits from time to time, but nothing that's not manageable. So, that's love. You know what I mean? Again, these are the things we do for our animals.
Yeah, because wait, CG, what? Is that for real? You're allergic to cats, but only white ones, gray and black tabbies. I'm fine.
Oh, interesting.
Really? Okay.
I didn't, maybe it's the kind of dander or something they have. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Tara's husband, I think, had an issue with a certain, I guess a lot of black cats he has issues with, but then they got a black cat and he doesn't. So I don't know. Maybe it's, one of those things.
I didn't realize it was by color. I thought it was by breed. Some people.
Or different, long hair, short hair, things like that. Yeah. But it's, I think about the cats and how much money we spend on them, and the dogs and the bunnies and all the things, but mostly the cats and the dogs. And, I don't have children. I don't have kids. But Julie, you have a child. You have a teenage son. And And you, I mean, would you say that you invest the same amount of maybe, I mean, maybe not money, but like the amount of time and like activities and things like that? Like what
You
would you say the
guys, I mean, the amount of money that I spend on extracurriculars is crazy train. I actually did the math in my head
yeah.
not too long ago. I'm not even going to give you the number because it's so obnoxious that I don't even want to say it out loud. Because if I say it out loud, then it will be real, and then I'll start to panic. But while I don't say it out loud, I can
Yeah, it
just
doesn't
pretend,
exist, you
I
know.
can pretend doesn't exist.
Right.
But like, it, nobody tells you about this stuff. Like the craziness, like the sports and the travel soccer and this, he plays squash, which is a really, I get it. I know it's a really kind of she game, but like
I don't even know what is squash.
it's like racquetball,
Oh, okay.
but different.
Yeah.
But it's like a very New York game. But like he goes to all these squash lessons and they're really expensive, and all these tournaments and they're really expensive. And then he does soccer. I finally put my foot down, but for years he did travel soccer, which means that every weekend and every
Right.
holiday weekend. I mean, I just remember the last year that we did it a couple of years ago, it was the last Memorial Day weekend, and I'm in some shithole field in South Jersey, like 1,000 miles from my house. And I'm thinking, why am I spending my weekends doing, like, what life decision got me to this place where I'm
Well,
watching?
that's the thing. Like, I feel like having kids is the one thing you don't even consider. I don't know. Like, because I don't know, you have kids, you think about like babies and things, and they're
Mm.
doing stuff. But I feel like that's the stuff that you don't really think about ahead of time.
Well, because you don't know what they're going to be into. So mine, I
Right.
just so happened that I gave birth, like everybody has their own thing, right? My son is a really gifted athlete.
Mm.
And he's just is like, you can't even train for that. He's just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's a gift.
it's a gift. Like
Yeah.
you're either born or not. And so as a result, he's been, doing all sorts of different sports, but he is really into soccer, but now has kind of gotten into squash, which is a racket sport.
Hmm.
And like he just did a squash camp for a week, and that was a fortune. It was a fortune.
Well, and everything in New York has like a, you know,
Yeah. Everything in New
sticker
York was
shock.
yes, but then this one was at Princeton. And
Oh,
that was
well,
at the university, and that was a
yeah.
fortune. And so like it's just like you sit, and then he's like, I think I need a second squash racket
Oh
because
my
people
God.
bring like a second racket in case the
Right.
strings in the first one break. I'm like, what do you think? I'm like, what do you think? I print money for your squash bullshit? Like
Right.
enough. But and if I broke my goggles, you have to wear goggles to play.
Right.
Well,
Otherwise
yeah,
it'll,
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, I broke my goggles. I need new goggles. And the goggles are like, yeah, pickleball, by the way, BJG is not next. Pickleball is here, and we have to play it. And we play it all the time. And when I say we play it, I stand there like an idiot, and he But
Oh, I just want to answer Aaron here. We're so glad you're doing a live tonight. Is this a permanent thing? I think so.
yes.
Yes, it is. And we didn't promote this at all. Actually, we planned on doing it and then we forgot about it. And so we were like, you know what, this Monday nights is a good time. So we
Yeah.
do plan on doing this, and we're trying to keep this as light as possible because I think we all need it. And we just want to talk about stuff in our lives that we think you all and we all can relate to. And that's what brings us here, because you know what? It kind of feels nice to not be talking about the world being on fire for an
Yeah.
hour.
So ask, you said skiing costs bucks. You want to hear something funny about skiing? I have zero phobias in this world. I could literally jump out. I've never done it, but if somebody said go jump out of an airplane, I would. The only thing that terrifies the shit out of me is skiing, and I don't know why.
Oh no, I won't do
I
that.
don't know why, other than the few times that I tried. I literally pulled a Sonny Bono both times, and it was like, yeah, it was not good. Like not good. Like avoided tree, like not good.
Oh, that's scary. Well,
Really,
especially as we get older, the knees.
yeah.
Like this is something we would have had to do as like children.
I think I never learned as a child, and I think I tried to learn as an adult, and that's a really big mistake. So here's the funny
Yeah.
thing. So a couple of years ago, my husband, so my son, meanwhile, is doing like double black diamonds at the age of like 4, and I can't ski, so that's a problem because somebody needs to go up there with him. And my husband, a couple of years ago, was like, "Let's all go skiing," and I was like, all right, whatever. So we put my son in ski school, not because he needs it, but because I just needed some adult to go up with him. Just
Yeah.
And my husband is like, and I'd never been to this particular place. It was in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, P.S., it's not even Colorado or Vermont. It's the Poconos. It's not even real mountains, but
It's like Mount Airy Lodge.
Yeah, Mount Airy Lodge. Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge, right?
Beautiful
exactly.
Mount Airy Lodge.
Which, by the way, apparently has become like a beautiful place and is no longer Mount Airy Lodge.
It is. Yeah. My in-laws went, I think, last year. They had a great time.
But anyway, so it's the ski place in the Poconos, and my husband's like, yeah, I've been here before many years ago. So like, we'll go to the bunny slope. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I could do the bunny slope. So he's like, let's just get on the ski lift. And I was like, does the ski lift go the bunny slope? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Let's get to the ski lift. First of all, I get on the ski lift and I immediately fall off the ski lift because I can't even get on the ski lift properly. And I'm like, are you sure the ski lift goes the bunny slope is at the very top of the mountain? Like, none of this makes sense. And he's like, yeah. So we go all the way to the top of the mountain. And my husband's like, we get off. My husband's like, where's this bunny slope? And the people up there are like, the bunny slope? It's down there. Like, what are you doing up here? So he's like, well, where's the green trail? Which is the easiest trail. And they're like, oh, this is like the black trail, whatever it was. You have to like walk. So we're like, literally, it's like Dr. Zhivago with their skis, like through this like tundra, walking to the green trail. We finally get there. I look down this mountain and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I just can't. And my husband's like, come on, it's easy. Just get down there. I'm like, I truly cannot do it. I have to call the ski patrol and go like this in the little thing. And they take me down. And as I'm completely looking like I'm paralyzed on this thing being taken down, people are looking at me like, is she hurt? What is going on? I was so embarrassed. I was so humiliated. I'm like, this is absurd that I can't even get down the ski slope. And I was like, never, ever, 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 ever again.
Is it going down? Is it the heights? What is it?
Not the heights. I'll tell you what happened. I don't know if I told you this, I used to play ice hockey. I'm
very Russian of you.
Very Russian. I learned to skate before I learned. Well, yeah, my father was an incredible hockey player and I learned to skate before I learned to walk. But so whenever I've done ski lessons, they're always like, oh, no problem. You're really good at this because I know how to hockey stop. But the problem is that I can't control the skis. So I can't control my speed. So I would come down that mountain. Like, I don't zigzag. It's like like Olympics, like at 100,000 miles an hour. And it is a miracle of God because I can't control myself that I did not kill myself or anybody else because I come down like literally like straight down because I have no idea how to do this because like ice skates, which are short, skis are long.
Right. And all that like the pressure it puts on your knees too.
Yeah, it's not even the knee. Like, so my problem is like I just can't control my speed. So it's literally like Speed Racer, and it's really scary. And if you're that person who can't control it, it's like you're going at 1,000 miles an hour, really, really fast. People are like jumping out of the way because you're like a menace. And the last time I did it, I think my thumb. My little, what are these thumbs called? You know who's got them? I have these thumbs, these little short, stubby thumbs. What's her name?
And they're like,
yeah, I basically have toes for thumbs, but it's so a little stubby thumb. I think I broke it because it still hurts and it's been years. So basically, I just can't. It's scary. Like it's not. I'm not scared of heights at all. As I said, jump out of a plane. I just can't. I just can't control my speed, and that's the scary part. Like,
so you don't, but does your son ski?
He does double black diamonds. He does the jumps. He does the moguls. He is an amazing skier.
Wow.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk thumbs. What? Charlie Kirk thumbs? He's got.
Oh, because Charlie Kirk looks like a thumb.
Oh, he looks like a thumb. Yeah. Charlie Kirk. Yeah, we can go.
I could go on all day.
We could go on about that, but we're going to stow the politics today. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask too, because so he does travel soccer. You do skiing. You do squash. Tennis? What else? Basketball?
No, you can't do tennis if you do squash because the grip is different.
Okay.
No, he's kind of short, so he doesn't play basketball.
Okay.
He does not like baseball. He thinks it's boring.
I don't understand that, but okay.
No, he just thinks it's really slow.
Well, I mean,
He really wants to do football, but there's no way in
oh
hell.
gosh, no, 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 no. We're not. I mean, that's interesting too, and I feel like we could just do a whole show on just kids football too, because again, I don't have kids, but I have really, really strong feelings about kids playing football, especially after the concussion crisis. When I watched League of Denial on Frontline,
I know.
that's when I stopped watching football and I stopped playing fantasy football. Like I was like, wow, I don't want to participate in this anymore. It's like killing people slowly and painfully.
I asked a former professional football player whose name will remain nameless, actually FOX, whether he would, knowing what he knows now, allow his kids to play football. And he said, no way in hell. And this is somebody with several Super Bowl rings.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I'm saying. It's like, the tech people. When I was reading the book, Careless People, the whistleblower book about Facebook, and she was explaining how all these people in tech, excuse me, don't allow their kids to use phones because they understand the dangers long term that the devices are having on brains that are not developed yet. And our brains aren't fully developed until we're 25 years old. But even then, physically, one of the analogies they gave in the League of Denial, and if you haven't seen it, the full length documentary from Frontline is on YouTube. Go watch it. They talk about it's like running into a wall in a car at like 20 miles an hour over and over and over and over again, and eventually like what that does to your brain. And so, I feel very strongly about the kids football thing, but it's like
soccer's just as bad. Soccer's just as bad because he's the header, and it's a really physical game. And at least with football, you're wearing helmets. With soccer, you don't wear helmets. And I don't think people,
it's funny because my husband and I talk about this a lot because the equipment for football has gotten so good, like the helmets and the guards and everything, that it almost creates an environment to hit harder. And you have to wonder, and everyone's getting stronger all the time. So I don't know. I don't play football. Obviously, I never play football. Not really a sport that girls play, not that they shouldn't, but, or they should, but, soccer is not quite. Yeah. I mean, that you're heading the ball, but it's the hitting in football.
But they check each other in football. They body check. I never realized that because I was a field hockey girl in high school. I never played soccer. I think girls' sports are different anyway. But boys, I see that now as they get older, they really it's a really physical game, much more so than I ever realized until my son started playing it. And so it's really there's a part of me that's like, I don't know, but. Listen,
CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. The CTE. Here's the thing too, is you have all these football players that are donating their brains to science after they pass away to kind of, take a look and see what's going on in there. And they're finding younger and younger and younger people having it.
My big regret is that OJ did not donate his brain to science after he died, because I
thought that was interesting.
I have always thought that how much of OJ was just being a horrible human being, and how much of OJ was that he had traumatic brain injury by the time all of that happened.
And how many traumatic brain injuries too. So what did you watch that on, Michelle? So that was Frontline through PBS. But you can watch it on YouTube. They have the full length documentary on YouTube. Just look it up. It's called League of Denial. I think it came out over 10 years ago. It's really, really, really good. One of the more chilling things they talk about too is the Troy Aikman. They talk to him about something about it looks like a playoff game or something like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And how he got hit really hard, and he was in the hospital, and his agent came in and asked him the same question 3 times, because he kept asking the question again because he didn't remember what his agent had said to him 30 seconds before. Yeah. And he was like, that terrified me. you
I
know,
know.
and it's just, and that's the thing. It didn't Aaron Hernandez. I think he didn't he?
I think he did, and I think it turned out he was really, really mentally
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It
compromised.
it really scares me, especially with the kids. But in the South, especially, football is such a huge part of the culture in the South. And so it's like, and it's very American, it's very, uniquely American sport. So, what the way around that, I don't know. But, it is just another example, though, of like that is football is life, and people just play football, and these kids and the parents, and they get in the car and they cart their kids everywhere. And I think about it even for myself. I was an athletic kid. I played sports, but I wasn't like, I wasn't going places with it. But, I played soccer and I played softball and I did gymnastics and I did this and this. But, I at the time you don't realize it that your parents are carting you everywhere all the
Every
time and investing money, and like I come from humble beginnings, and these things cost a lot of money, and you think about all the investment that they make into that. And it's not only, I think, because you don't think your kid's going to go, join the WNBA or whatever, that the chance of that happening is very slim, but it makes you a better person. There's a lot of things about kid sports and being on teams that, there's long-term benefits to that too.
So,
Um,
Aaron, by the way, you said Tua from the Dolphins may have issues later in life. I cannot believe that he's still playing football. Like, I cannot believe that his family has not intervened. I understand that the alternative is that he's not going to be a billionaire and make a ton of money,
mhm.
but I just cannot believe that Tua is still playing football. I mean, it is malpractice that the
Yeah,
Dolphins have not released him. It is malpractice that his family has not intervened. It is malpractice that he's continuing to do that. It's
yeah.
crazy. But, and by the way, Robert Carr, you said rugby. Yeah, I know rugby is even worse. I mean, you
Oh
guys
my gosh, yeah. And there's
rugby's
no
insane.
padding, no
There's
padding,
no
no
padding.
protection.
But you know what? The World Cup, the Team World Cup was this past
Mhm.
weekend.
Yeah.
And so I gotta say, and I know we're not gonna get political, but this is actually more about
I
sports.
mean, sometimes you kind of have to because it's
Sometimes you have
everywhere.
to. So again, I have a 13-year-old. Like this kid loves his soccer, and he was so excited because he's a Real Madrid fan because he played for Real. So he was very lucky. He got to go to Spain and play.
Oh yeah, those programs where the kids go.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Real Madrid in Madrid, which PS was a billion times cheaper for me to fly my entire family out to Madrid, rent an apartment for a week, and have them go to that camp for a week than it would have been for me to do a soccer program here in New York, which goes to show how completely insane.
See, and this is why people leave New York when they have
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
it's not New York, the United States, period. Like
Yeah.
Europe is so much more accessible for what they can do for sports.
Right.
Than
Well,
it is here.
and European, football, soccer
Yeah,
is
soccer.
everywhere. It's the world sport.
Yeah.
Everybody plays it.
So anyway,
Everybody, everywhere.
So he's now a Real Madrid fan as a result of all of that, and Mbappe playing for Madrid now is a big deal.
Mhm.
So he was very upset because PSG defeated Real Madrid, and then he was rooting for the British people on this chat. He was rooting for Chelsea as a result of that, not because he cares about Chelsea or the Premier League so much, but more because PSG had beaten Madrid, and so he wanted them to be beaten.
This is true. Just really quick. I don't know if you saw this too in Riverside Park. I don't know if you saw this ice.
No.
Yeah, this happened the other day. It was on West Side Rag, it was in the news too, but I remember I read it on West Side Rag. And ICE went and started questioning kids playing sports in Riverside Park. I mean, how what?
Uptown, like further up, like there's a huge.
No, I don't even think it was that far up because I mean, all those baseball fields are around like what, like 102nd, 103rd or whatever.
Oh my God, my son plays there. Are you?
That's what
kidding
I
me?
mean, right? Like and the soccer fields and the baseball diamonds and stuff that are over there by like Ellington and the Park, which is at like 103rd Street.
Yeah.
I think it's over there. Yeah, I mean, just crazy, heinous. Anyways,
so we can talk about that on Wednesday on
Yeah.
a more political show. But
yeah,
anyway, so he was very excited to watch soccer, and he was very excited to watch this World Cup, and he actually went. My father took him to one of the games, one of the Real Madrid games last week, at MetLife, so he was super excited for that. And so he tunes in. Yesterday we had to go run a bunch of errands. He's like, "We got to be home by 3. We've got to be home by 3 because I want to watch the finals." Gets really excited. We sit down. We start watching the finals. I could not care less, but I'm there for him. And then Trump is there, and okay, like if Trump wants to go and sit in the box, like go sit in the box, whatever. But then my son is like, "Why is Donald Trump handing out the trophies? What is going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's the president." I'm trying to not make it that political. And
Right.
this 13-year-old is like, "This is so inappropriate. It's their moment.
It's so weird.
Give Chelsea their moment."
Right. And if anybody here doesn't watch soccer or like, Premier League or anything, so when they win, they have the trophy or whatever, and they all like huddle like this, and then they all lift the trophy up, and it's this big thing, and the crowd goes wild, and Donald Trump stayed there. He stayed in the front and was like trying to touch it. And I mean, I don't know any of the players' names, but he looks at Donald Trump and he's like holding onto the thing and looks at him, and he's like, "You can leave."
Connor said that, the main guy.
Yeah, the guy who's holding on to the trophy. He looked at him, and you can see it. Like you can read his lips. He goes, "You can leave." and he didn't leave. And then the thing is, like, the team, they don't care. So they just kind of like, start huddling around each other and kind of push him out. And you can watch him just kind of get squeezed out. The president of the United States, who inappropriately put himself in this place, is getting kind of pushed to the back. And it's hilarious because it's like they don't care. And
didn't the head of FIFA kind of like tell him to like go back?
Yeah, he's like, because he doesn't understand the customs. He doesn't understand the sport. He doesn't respect it. It's all about him all the time. All the time.
But dude, if FIFA is telling you how to behave,
right. FIFA, who has their office in Trump Tower now, and it's like there's a whole FIFA thing happening.
Was corrupt beyond belief.
Yeah, this is true. I read this too. Yeah.
Yeah. He has a trophy. What?
Yeah, I read this. I don't know all the details. I actually heard Tara talking about it today too on Mary Trump's Substack. But like the real trophy was like is made by Tiffany or something. So the one that they were holding up at the FIFA final thing, whatever, was a replica.
How does Trump have the real one?
I don't know.
No.
I'm serious. Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Yeah. Trump FIFA trophy. I'm going to look this up. We're going to look it up. Trump says Club World Cup trophy will remain in Oval Office after tournaments end.
What?
I'm not even kidding. And also at the same thing, and you can, if you go and watch the videos, when he walks onto the field, he's booed. And then the Jumbotron goes over to him and he's booed. The crowd is, yeah.
I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience. Chelsea wins the trophy.
Uh-huh.
They don't get to go home with it. Trump gets to keep it.
That's what it says. Let me open this thing. Hold on. This is in the Guardian.
And FIFA allowed him to do this?
Well, because this is what people do with him now. It says the U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed that the Club World Cup trophy that is featured prominently in the Oval Office will stay there. And that FIFA made a copy of the trophy that was awarded to Chelsea after the win in the tournament's final on Sunday. Trump attended the final along with numerous members of his cabinet, blah, blah, blah. But by the way, I'm just saying this, in his box at this thing was Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady. But the incident is just the latest in a long series of intersections between the U.S. president and the world of FIFA, which began in earnest this year, soon after Trump started his second term in office. I mean, and the World Cup is going to be in the United States. And this is going to, listen, I mean.
Don't come. Hey, anybody from the foreign countries who wants to watch the World Cup, watch it on TV. Don't come. There is going to be ice sweeps. It is, do not come.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And I genuinely think, I have to think that the people running FIFA, now FIFA also has like a long history of corruption and like all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah. But so FIFA and Trump make up, the perfect pair. But I'm sure that they're thinking in some way, okay, well, if we bend the knee to him, if we, make him feel special and we do all the things that people think that are going to get them in the good graces of Donald Trump is going to help us when it comes time for the World Cup and people are coming, especially from South America and in Europe and Africa. I mean, people are coming from all over the world to go to the World Cup. There is going to be a serious problem. Serious problem. This and the Olympics, but FIFA specifically. I mean, the World Cup, I said, and we all know it's the world sport. And there's going to be people who look all different kinds of, skin tones and backgrounds and all kinds of things. And ICE has said out loud, Tom Homan has said on TV that basically they are racially profiling people, not checking anybody, and just rounding people up. This is going to get so much worse.
Okay. I got no sleep last night, so I feel like I'm having a really huge out-of-body experience right now. I'm still fixated on the fact that he has the real I can't get past the fact that he's got the real trophy in his.
Yeah. Here's a Trump's trophy celebration and everything else you missed from the weird Club World Final. Let me see. The trophy.
And by the way, with Tom Brady, dude,
Tom Brady sucks.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. Ivanka is not going to end up with Tom Brady, no matter how much you want her to, no matter how much you want Jared to go away so that Ivanka could end up with Tom Brady. It's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Let me see. Trophy. I'm just going to see if there's another article here that I can pull up. But Chelsea soccer star Cole Palmer, who was named the tournament's top player, said, this is what he says about Trump's lingering presence. Quote, I knew he was going to be here, but I didn't know he was going to be on the stand when we lifted the trophy. So I was a bit confused. Oh my God. It's just like you have to laugh because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. But it's just, but
what is going on? What is going on?
I know.
We're now stealing from a bunch of 25-year-olds. We're stealing their trophy.
Yeah. Trump kept Gold Club World Cup trophy for himself, so FIFA had to give the winners a replica. And this is in the Daily Beast. President Trump has revealed that the champions of the Club World Cup won't be getting the original trophy because he is keeping it. It has since been revealed that the intricate prize hoisted aloft by the London club's captain, Reece James, was a replica because the president of football's governing body, FIFA, has let Trump, this is the whole thing with the Trump, use the original as an ornament in the Oval Office. The trophy, crafted in collaboration with Tiffany & Company, features a central disc with 3 rotating outer rings. It has a pop-up ad. No. It has a 24-karat gold plated finish and is thought to have cost around $230,000 to make. If FIFA lets Trump keep the orbital award for good, it is likely to end up in the National Archives.
First of all, it's not going to end up in the National Archives. It's going to end up at Trump Tower or Mar-a-Lago.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Because the Supreme Court has allowed that to happen. But more relevantly, I don't understand how. I don't even know who owns Chelsea now. It's not Roman Abramovich anymore. But I don't understand. I don't understand how all the club owners don't go to FIFA and say this is unacceptable. Like, this is unacceptable. I don't know who owns PSG. I don't know who owns Chelsea.
Or his bathroom. Yeah. Most likely. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't keep the Stanley Cup. I know, honestly. And he might next time. I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, so the Olympics are in Los Angeles in 2020. What is it? What's the year? Is it 26?
28.
Or 28. Okay. So he's going to be president. I mean, if he's still around, don't think for a second that he's not going to try to get all up in it and he's going to try to put, the medals on people. He'll probably ask for a medal. I've always wanted a medal. This is so much easier to get a medal this way. Like, this specimen of manly athleticism of Donald Trump. This is just, the whole thing, and you know, just to bring it back to your son too, it's like, this sucks to be a kid and have to like watch this.
Well, that's what really sucked. I have to say, like, that's what really sucked. And it sucked for, you don't have to politicize everything. Like, I don't
Right.
mind if the president wants to come and watch the game. That's
Right.
okay. Sit in your box, watch the game. If people boo
Shut up.
you,
Right.
if people boo you, like, it happens. It happens to every president out there. Like, that's democracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the part that I don't understand is when you run down and you decide to get in on the action when you had nothing to do with the action. In fact, when you probably don't even know the rules of the game.
Right. Oh God. No.
And why? Like, and that's, I guess, what my son's reaction again as a 13-year-old. He was like,
Yeah.
but why is he there? Like, why?
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you have all these kids who are super excited. I'm sure if you're a Brit, I mean, people who are British on this chat, you tell us, but I mean, if you're a British 13-year-old, I mean, my kid was excited. And that was purely out of like spite because PSG beat his team. It's not because he's a longtime fan of Chelsea.
Right.
But suddenly, if you're, listen, I lived in London, and I worked there for a while. And if you're a Chelsea fan, I mean, you bleed.
Right.
You bleed these clubs. I mean, this is like,
it's life. I mean, think
life.
about the most rabid Red Sox or like Philadelphia Eagles fan, and like that's how they all are.
And
about all.
And then, so you're so excited. You're a 13-year-old. You've been waiting your whole little life for your club to win this. They won it. I think they won it before once. But the point is, all of a sudden, you're watching your favorite players hoist this trophy up, and there's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's Donald Trump or Barack Obama. Like, this isn't even a partisan thing for me. Like, why is a politician involving himself in this?
Well, I mean, because Donald Trump is a malignant sociopath, narcissist. And I mean that at the end of the day, I mean, he is the epitome, he is the embodiment of every strongman, every dictator that we've seen, Mussolini, Adolf Hitler. I mean, this is how they all acted. They made every single thing that was that you know, displayed any amount of nationalism or patriotism or whatever it was, made it all about them and allegiance to them, not the country. And I think that that's how he sees the world. He sees that he is America and America is him, and there is no other America. So it makes sense to him that he would be on that stage.
Wow. Well, I gotta go read up on this because you blew my mind.
You have to go watch the. I wish I pulled it because I didn't think that was like that we would talk about this here. Maybe we'll do it on Wednesday. But it's pretty amazing. And you know, somebody reminded me. I don't remember who it was in the chat. I apologize. That you know, next year is the 250th anniversary of the United States existing, and the White House or the Department of Defense or one of those, like, it was an official account coming from this administration, says that they're going to hold a UFC fight.
Yes,
Trump on the 4th. Yeah, on the 4th of July, on the lawn of the White House. UFC owned by Dana White. I don't even know where to begin with how horrifying this is. I shouldn't be surprised, but this one actually did surprise me. And you know, again, it's. I think about your son and like, thank God, Julie, that you're a good mom and he's got good role models around him, because, you know, the kids are not all right. And the way that they are, you know, implementing and implanting themselves into everything, whether it be soccer, whether it be, you know, every bit of culture and sports that's going on. Why is my computer, my computer's being very glitchy. It's you know, and again, like this is, I think it's something like $40 billion a year is what American parents spend on their kids' sports. And if you guys don't know, Crystal McGuire, who is our national finance chair at the Seneca Project, she's a great friend of ours. She used to be married to an NBA player. Her son is Cole Anthony, who played for Orlando Magic, and he just actually got traded to like Memphis or something like that. But anyways, she made an app with her son to help parents kind of navigate the world of kids sports. And I don't know like too much about it. I've just kind of been following her journey with this on Instagram, but there's an app. It's called Game Up, the roadmap for your child's basketball journey from I guess just basketball for right now, but I'm sure they're going to at some point expand journey from toddler to teenager and beyond. I think it's such a great idea. Game Up from pre-K to high school, positioning your child to play at every level of their development, from classes to clinics. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I think about this whole world that you all kind of live in with all the sports, and it's just like it's wild to me. It's wild.
It is. It is exhausting, and I have to be at a squash tournament next Saturday, excuse me.
Yeah.
Really far away. And I think we have to be there by 7:30 in the morning.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So that's like my point. Like, I think about the fact that I'm going to be getting more sleep tonight than I'm going to be getting on the weekend.
Right. Well, and like Jojo from Jers, who we do our show with on Saturdays and Wednesdays, you know, she's often tuning in from her car because she's at her kids' soccer games and things like that. And, you know, it's a huge investment, not just of money, but of time. But it really is, I think, an act of love, just like how we invest in our pets and everything, because we spend money and we spend time on the things that matter the most to us. And those are our kids, whether they're little fur balls or human people. And, you know, and it's usually the moms really kind of keeping all of it together with the schedules and the calendars and everything.
Absolutely, the moms keeping it together.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. On that note, speaking of,
I just want to say, I was going to say, mm-hmm.
I was 39 when I had my son. So I slugged it out in my 40s and now 50s, and I'll be slugging it out if he plays in college.
Keeps you young, Julie.
In my 60s too. Oh, yes. It keeps me young. It keeps me being exhausted. I love this. I'm so glad we're doing this show, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And, you know, we'll actually, you know, maybe promote this next time, because we were trying to figure out what we were going to do here. And also somebody wrote that they went over to your Substack and I don't know, something happened. I got an alert that the stream key didn't work. So we're going to have to kind of troubleshoot that for next time. So if you're over here from Substack to check it out, thank you for being here. And otherwise, Julie, I'm sure will post the link.
I'll post the link on Substack. I did not know that this was not streamed.
I didn't want to you know, kill the vibe. Time for AV, Michelle. Exactly.
I know, AV, Michelle. Seriously,
troubleshooting.
I am useless, but you obviously know what you're doing. All right.
Listen, how hard can it be? That's my motto. How hard can it be?
My motto is, if there are instructions to read, I'm not interested. I'm just not going to bother.
I'm going to call it TaskRabbit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much to people on Substack. I'm so sorry, but if you're watching this now on Substack, it's because I just reposted it.
Yeah.
Which I will do right now. And thanks, everybody. And we will see you all. Well, first of all, we're going to see you hopefully on Wednesday at noon for this week's episode of Over It. And we will see you on Saturday at 10 for Coffee and Conversation. But then if you guys want to maybe have a little bit of a palate cleanser early in the week and not talk as much politics, but talk stuff, life. By the way, tell us what you want to talk about, because
yes, please tell us, because I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Because the two of us, it's just politics 24/7. So, Susie says, no way, Julie is.
Oh, yes, Susie, I am 52, my friend. I am not 50. I am 52 years old. I know I too do not understand how that happened, but it did.
Something about that time gets away from us.
Exactly.
Yeah, we would love to know what you want us to talk about. If we can have guests on that you think can talk about something that is important to you. We were thinking about, you know, maybe having an episode talking about menopause and how Gen X and millennials are kind of, you know, coming over that hill right now. And it's become, you know, something that the nation is finally talking about and women are finally talking about openly. And I think that that's awesome. So, you know, more things like that, things with our kids and families and stuff that matters to us that maybe doesn't have to do with Donald Trump directly.
Yes.
So,
and if anybody wants me to explain the difference between racquetball and squash, I can investigate it and let you know in the future, because I don't know anything about it either. All right. Bye, everybody. So good to see you. And we will see you all in a few days on Over It on Wednesday at noon. Bye.
Yep. See you then.